Empire of Trebizond makes its stand here in today's 1212 AD siege, and they are not alone, as they are joined by the Flemish. They are also joined by the Swiss, and they are joined by a very strange peoples from far away in Africa, the Zagwe Kingdom as well, also here with their spear spam with a load of javies, and they've got a heck of a lot of chevrons as well to couple up with them. But yes, it's going to be a glorious 4v4 12-12 siege here, as we've got a bit of a sally out that looks like it's taking place here. Some shock cav going out, so they've got to harass some spears to try and stop them there. It's kind of worked. It also looks like they got a bit of a charge off onto these swords over here, and some pretty bad damage to that foot ritter there, which is also not too bad as well. Maybe also did some damage there to some shock infantry, but yeah, this should be was a siege that we did in the stream a few weeks ago. I thought, you know what, we definitely should check it out and cover it for those of you that didn't necessarily watch the stream, because yeah, we don't often do a lot of 12-12 content, and you know what, it's a pretty fun siege, that's for sure. It was a really fun one. We've got the Fishmonger's Guild swordsman here falling back off the wall as they give up those to the advancing Austrians who are landing here. Austria is not alone in today's assault. We have the Ottomans, and I believe we also have the Venetians, and I think we have another, yeah, I was going to say another Turkish faction. I think we have the Seljuks as well. So yeah, the Seljuks, which pretty much have the exact same roster as the Ottomans, which I kind of feel like they should probably change that up, mainly because, like, especially like the European units, the Seljuks should not have access to those. But yeah, anyway, it's going to be a glorious 4v4. Two Turks taking on a whole host of other factions, joined by some Italians and some Germans in this one. And I was playing as the Swiss in this one. I've got a bit of a spear spam going on. I'm going with a bit of a tactic of just trying to hold these guys at the bottom of the wall and then side charging, as you can see here, with my cav into units and doing untold damage to the units as they come off there. I'm kind of also blessed that Austria has archers, not crossbows. So his archers, I'm going to get that armor piercing damage necessarily onto my cav. I might be able to do a heck of a lot more damage as well. And the player over here playing Zagwe has just brought entirely spears apart from his general. And these javies can arc, and they've got incredible range with them. They can like throw them like, I don't know, they're like nuclear-tipped ICBMs. They really are. They can like throw them miles away. Like, they're throwing them there onto the guys on the wall, which is like probably the length of 2 javelin worths, really. Yeah, it's impressive stuff, that's for sure. Breach has been opened. The Turks over here have got a great bombard, and they are smashing holes in the wall. I think they're going for another one over here as well. Potentially they've knocked that tower down, I think. Maybe they did. It's indestructible, apparently, so it doesn't look very indestructible, that's for sure. But I think they're going to go and open up a breach over there in a moment as well. So we'll see what that impacts the defenders, and it means another breach point as well that's going to be defended. I'm sure we've got Austria now starting to land off the wall. There's Austrian Ritter. These tier 1 swords definitely will not be able to go up against tier 3. It was kind of just bring whatever tier you like. We are going to see a bit of a mix of everything, but it is a bit of a common mistake by players, seeing like the most expensive swords that usually are tier 1 and going, oh, I'll bring those, they're like the most expensive, so therefore they're the best. But no, that's not necessarily the case. Go up against tier 3 stuff, they will struggle. They will have probably less armor, less melee damage and defense, and etc. So they often will end up getting beaten. But yeah, I've got a whole bunch of light heavy spears here, and I'm just letting the sergeants off the wall. So yeah, my Zagwe ally here can get some javies into the side of the sergeants. And they're also going to get rewarded by getting charged by Swiss cavalry as they come in as well. And there goes the cav into the backs. Maybe getting friendly fired a little bit by the javies, but absolutely worth it. Taking out a very good sergeant unit there. That is a tier 3 sword now dealt with. My cav's going to bounce out of that one. I think it's going to go into the foot ritter here, which is trying to contend for the gate. And here we go, another great charge coming in. A rear charge as well, technically. In they go, slamming into the back of those Austrians. Beautiful charge there. And that's going to be that foot ritter pretty much dealt with. I would have thought my general's also coming up here as well. Don't think we're going to need him. And we've got fire throwers here from Trebizond as well, as they send those forward. And they're going to be needing them just yet. And I was going to say, there's danger close with the sort of like archers with full ammo. They'll definitely be able to do some damage to those guys. They are medium Greek fire throwers, but they're tier 1. So, I mean, they probably haven't got the greatest of armor and aren't going to be able to stop Probably a tier 2 bowman. Maybe they might struggle. That's for sure. They will certainly struggle. But yeah, dismounted Austrian Ritter waiting on the walls here. And I'm just happily shooting them. I've got my crossbows here shooting these guys on the walls. If he's going to wait up there, if he's scared of my cav, then I'm going to shoot him with the crossbows. And yeah, I mean, these are light crossbows. I brought a lot of light infantry sort of spam. And I'm relying on my cav here to certainly try and smash my way through a lot of these units. And like, I mean, that absolutely will work. A lot of these units here are so vulnerable. He's only got 2 units of spears here that are going to be able to counter my cavalry. He's not sending them in first, actually. And the pole arms, yeah, also, I guess, could counter the cav, but they've got to get over the wall. And they can't do that in formation. That's for sure. More Austrian Ritter over here getting contended with by my Swiss cav. It's starting to take losses, but still got well over sort of like 3/4 of its force. Got a shock infantry here. That's taking on Spear Militia of Flanders. Shock excels against spears, so they're going to need to send something in here to also counter that. The armor of these boys is gleaming. I think these are Venetians that have gone in here. Yeah, they are. They are absolutely cutting through the spears there. They need to send something up to try and counter that. Just even like some crossbows here. Crossbow sergeants. I don't know if they're in range, but they could side shot those shock there and maybe do some decent damage. Good for the Turks. They brought like hybrid archers as well. They've got like the heavy ones and also the lighter ones. They're certainly going to be very handy. I think they've got 2 of each. So once they're out of ammo, they actually can melee relatively well, which will be handy for them to, you know, it's basically extra infantry in a sense. Actual infantry as well, not just archers, which technically, you know, are infantry, yes, but can they melee? Not really. Yeah, the tier 3 boys here, head to toe in steel. Like, that's why a tier 1 unit cannot take them on, because they got chainmail. How are they going to pierce through this scale armor and also defend themselves? They're not going to be able to defend themselves, that's for sure. Someone's desperate for a sword. I hope it's not one of the Spear Militia, because they ain't allowed swords. Only spears. More shot coming forward, just, you know, put the final nail in the coffin here for that spear. As it breaks there, they need to have something ready. We've got Spear Sergeant sort of there. We've got a Brewer's Falconeer that's waiting on this bridge. I don't know what the plan is, that's for sure. Artillery going off. We have a mortar on the defense here. I think it's going for big old blobs. It might be going for this blob over here, actually. No, going for outside the wall, and it is going for artillery, well, not for artillery, for cavalry and archers. Not a bad target. I mean, you can definitely hit the hit in or around the general. It technically is not really a general snipe because the mortar just kind of has splash damage. So, in a sense, if you fire near the general, you could inevitably just do some damage to it, if you like it or not. Killing, I mean, killing generals, even weakening generals before they have to go into melee, could be absolutely crucial to winning the siege. Got the shock in here. We've got those Ritter from Austria. They're in there, but they're up against some of the spears of the Zagwe Kingdom. But yeah, not a really good defensive position to hold these spear Siwa here. Can get side-shotted from horse archers, which they've brought here. And this was one of the problems and kind of complaints we did have with the Turkish players. They did have all these hybrid shock cav, which technically also count as range and then can use their range. So it are kind of breaking the rules with the amount of range units they can bring. Fire throwers have gone off. They have actually got their fire shots off. We did miss it. But it wasn't anything insane. I mean, they've done some decent damage to some of these Austrian Ritter. I think they might have helped break one of these. But yeah, this breakthrough is now starting to take place over here. The Austrian Ritter should cut through these spears. I mean, they could still keep trying to go for cycle charges if they wanted to. Oh no, they can't because the halberds have smartly blocked this route off. Really nicely done there. And as you can see, a general retreat is being called already by the defenders. It's pretty early on, but it's kind of needed because otherwise we are looking like we're going to get overrun already. Here, the Flemish players also throwing in some troops or some cheap tier 1s to try and hold the line. He's getting absolutely like rushed right now by Cav and Shaw. Don't know if there's any need to send in the cav as well, but he has, and they've got some jabbies being thrown into them there by the spear seawer as they just like throw into the blob, doing some serious damage to the cav, and the shock also won't be able to block any of these jabbies as they come in. Yeah, some really good targets there, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean, numbers-wise, right now, we're not looking too bad. 8,600 defenders against 7,800 attackers. Attackers actually outnumbered when it comes to man count. Probably because of the spear spam, I would have thought, potentially. But they have probably got better troops, and they've certainly got a lot more shock and things like that in cavalry, which actually can be useful in a siege. They've got a lot more of it than us defenders do. Well, Contratoi here also defending against some Venetian swords. Also, the thing is, a lot of the defenders have brought a lot of tier 1 and tier 2. I've seen quite a lot of them. Well, I think the attackers have pretty much exclusively brought tier 3. There you go, Venice. Actually, I thought Venice had bulldozed his way in, but he hasn't. It's just that they're swapping out the spear for the sword, weirdly enough. I'd have probably just got the spear in it to hold the line. Let these swords get off their final few shots as well.
Enemy units have rallied and returned to the battle.
These guys have jabbies, so you want to be able to use them. The Venice and the Byzantines fighting each other. They've done that plenty before already. Over the years, fighting for the Adriatic coast. We have now got a sturdy defense being formed up here. We've got pikes, Flemish pikes holding out the line there. Vigila and some sergeants holding. There's a bit of a stack going on there. I'd be careful. I don't know if the attackers have any ammo left on that bombard. They do, actually. They're bringing it inside. If they could get it set up down one of these roads aimed at one of the bridges, could do a lot of damage there. Oh, this is going to be an execution. Look at this. We've got Balkan nobles in the back. They're getting ready to rear charge. Spear seawer here. We're fighting Janissary shock. Get a jabby whilst in melee. Very cheeky. There comes the cav charge into the back of the spears. Rip in peace to them as these soldiers fight and die against the soldiers of the Turks. There you go, Spear Seawer gone, and that is, I think, the final. Oh no, there is one more unit. Spear Sergeants. They don't need to be here. I don't know why they're here. They shouldn't be fighting pole arms. They won't be caught by the pole arms, that's for sure. But yeah, that's the final unit, I think, on this side of the river for the defenders there. Otherwise, all on this side over here. And that sword was finally routed. I think the Spear Seawer jabbing from the top over there has also massively helped. Venice is going to have a pretty tough time going through this singular breach. I mean, looks like he was maybe going to land some towers, but changed his mind. He might make a rush for the ram. You never know. He has got a ram, so it is an option. There is ammo left in that great bombard. Whether they want to maybe think about blowing another hole in the wall over there as well, that's also possible. Well, there's really many options. I guess you could just make a larger breach here. All there is actually is an option. Or knock down the towers. So yeah, not a lot actually that Venice really can do. He's kind of got himself in a bit of a sticky position there. He is shifting some forces actually to go in and support the Turkish assault from this side of the river. Against more Sparta toy here, going into melee. They don't need to go into melee, just use your jabbies. You're going to get chased by the spears now. Run away, Trebizond, you fool. There you go, the spear sergeants have disengaged. They, I don't know why they're just not falling all the way back. Pole arms chasing them forward. Whether they're trying to bait the pole arms onto archers or artillery, possibly. I mean, my crossbows are coming forward actually here. I think this is to try and scare them off so the spears can get back safely. Yep, I think here we go. Crossbows being activated. A few bolts going off. Nothing crazy. There's a bit of a volley going in, I guess. I do some damage to these Fuschneck. Yep, killing one or two. Nothing crazy. Yeah, we're in not really a Cold War yet, but we're kind of getting there as both sides now obviously have their own side of the city. Both have half each. And the bridges are going to become a bit of a grind point, I think, here. More Spartatoi throwing javies. I don't know why they're using fire arrows. Who's using fire arrows? Maybe the Toxite over here, I think. Cataphractate, Toxite. Yeah, don't think that's a good idea. I'll just use normal arrows. There's a bit more damage. And also you could end up just breaking your own troops with fire arrows, which is always a bit of a risk. My cav is still very much alive and active. I've actually sent it out and round. I'm going to just maybe see if I can sneak and kill anything in the back lines. There's also gunners back here that's just been left hidden by the Seljuks. They'd be a good target to go for the cav. They can get them. There is still plenty of Turkish cavalry though outside here that could probably block any opportunities for that to happen. But we have got some Turkish cav in here. He's just cycled in. I think he's just done some damage to the Spartatoi. The Vigilant now coming forward. It's a cheap spear. He's getting chased off by the Voynuk spears as well. Just a bit of cat and mouse going on over this bridge here. And I think that's certainly not going in the favor of the Byzantines. I think we're going to see some Martelos. Oh, I thought we were going to see Martelos swords going in. No, we're not. Apparently not. Not just yet. So on this side, looks like Austria is getting ready with his Fuchs-necked spears ready to go. And he's getting javied by the spear seawer as he comes forward. Every yard they take, more and more of their troops are dying to the javelins. And in they go. Lovely stuff. And the spear sergeants of the Fuchs-neck can get underway, stabbing at each other with their spears. They're holding the line. What is the look of the other bridge? Other bridge is looking like it's going to get some engagements as well soon. Here come the swords, the Marlow swords. They're getting shot, those Vigila there, pretty badly actually by Austrian bowmen. I think that's what's doing all the damage. It could... No, I don't think it's anything else. There's nothing else actually in range. It's those Austrians. I mean, I just go in with the Martello swords at this point. You probably should beat these Vigila. They're still getting shot to pieces. Yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah, some pretty good shots are actually coming in.
Our settlement is burning!
Settlement is burning. Oh, 1%. Yeah, not really burning too much. Yeah, and there you go. First wave broken. We've got some shock over there that are pretty much gone as well. Dismounted Ritter.
Enemy units have returned to the battle!
Pretty much done. And this Austrian Ritter here of the Tier 1 variant is also about to go as well. As they just get a forest of javelins being thrown at them. Look at that. All the javelins coming in. There you go. Another wave of Austrians has been sent packing. I'll have to send more forward if they want to try and break through there. It's going to be costly, that's for sure. Fuchs-neck spears. We've got more Ritter. Got plenty more shock back here as well. And the pole arms, of course. But it's been held by just by some spear sergeants and some light pavis. At the moment with the support of those crossbows and the Javi spears. And also the mortar as well. It's just lobbing some shots in there. There you go, going off occasionally. I mean, a mortar can do really good damage. I think it's the best artillery to bring as a defender, that's for sure. Oh, another front has been opened up here. We got Venice. He's made his move, and he's going in for the Javi spears on the wall over here of the Zagwe. It's a good idea. Stop them from using their javelins to support the breach point, and instead engage them on the wall. Oh, might beat spears here, but it's hard to say. They are pretty decent at these Zagwe spears. These are heavy swordsmen, I think, of Venice. No, he's actually one of the mediums. All right. I think Venice can bring heavies for both tier 2 and 3. One of the few factions can bring heavy swords for tier 3 and 2. Yes, if you're enjoying the 1212 AD action and you want to see more medieval action on your screens, then do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and comment show support as we work towards 15k subs for the channel. This is the home of all things Total War. If you want to see fancy stuff, historical, whatever, modded, unmodded, this is the place to be. It really is. These kind of look like These Marcello's swords also kind of look pretty Greek, look pretty Byzantine, to be honest. They did a rework? I think they must have done. Don't know how I feel about them looking so Byzantine. It's certainly going to confuse you guys. Who's fighting who? But in they go. And it's the now occupied Greeks fighting the real Greeks. But yeah, I don't know why the Seljuks have Marcello swords. Like, doesn't really make sense. Yes, they occupy some of the Byzantine Empire, but not like Marcello's swords. I would have thought just come from like Greece, that sort of area. I don't know. And certainly like from the European side of the Byzantine Empire, rather than the Asian side. It just seems odd that the Seljuks have them. Also, I just feel like it would then just make them a little bit more just different. I know like they are kind of similar in certainly in their Turkish units, very similar because they like the Ottomans pretty much come out of the Seljuks in a sense. But it would be cool just to sort of have some differences and some differentiation between the two, just in case you just wanted to bring them. Look at this. Man, this game is beautiful.
The enemy have rallied their units.
Yeah, more Marcello's swords though coming forward. They're getting excited for battle. All over here, there's pole armies here and all sorts. Again, I think this is just falling foul of the Javis. I mean, it's stood here. I think it's re-rallied, hence it's stood here with its back to the range units. But yeah, again, another wave of Austrians has been sent packing. They're not having much luck. I mean, the attackers generally aren't having much luck. They're losing over here as well as those Marcello spears. Or Marcello swords, sorry. They're losing to spears. Awesome fight, awesome view we got there. They're also not doing so great over here as well. Again, the Venetians losing here. Medium melee infantry starting to lose. But there may be a bit of a hope. The Turks over here with their bow cav, which, again, like I said, should not really be firing, in my opinion. Like, either bring bow cav and like this, the hybrids. Absolutely fine, bring them, but just don't shoot. Because it is the CPI cav, it's the best cav they have. So if you want to bring it, but don't shoot the ammo. If you're then also going to bring all your Janissary archers. So yeah, we're almost faced like the Turks have got 8 archers, in a sense. Or almost 7 maybe, I don't know if they brought another CPI, but they might have done. And then we've got all of the Seljuk. Oh yeah, these are all the Janissary ones here as well. Maybe those aren't what Turkish ones. No, yeah, they're the Seljuk ones. These are the Ottoman ones over here. So yeah, these are the 4 that belong to them. So they have 7 range units right now, not including that artillery, which is fine. It's a different whole other thing. But anyway, those Turkish cav, they're getting good side shots into the choke point. Actually, trying to even the game up here. As the Venetians struggle through this choke point. If anything, I think they've lost ground. But if you want to get involved in any sort of Total War battles or streams, whether it's 12-12 or something else, like, I don't know, Dauntless Days or Rome 2 or anything like that, feel free to join the Discord. The link is down below in the description, as always. Best place to go to join, get involved in some battles, whether you just want to get involved in scenarios, they end up being usually content for the channel or just streams, which can be sometimes. I mean, they're content anyway in a sense, but we don't necessarily get good enough battles sometimes to, make into to videos. Sometimes it is a bit of a struggle. We've got pikes over here. They're getting focused down. The light pikes in Men of La Toy getting shot to pieces here. Trebizond not paying attention to his units. Usually, I mean, I don't know. I always find if you look at the bottom of the HUD and you just see like a unit starting to get shot, and you're like, huh, I know that's not near the front line. That shouldn't be getting shot. I'd move it. You know, sometimes I do wonder, especially this men of Latoy, lost 50 troops before he even realized. Crazy. We've got gunners over here as well. Trevor's on board some medium handgunners. Skopetstatai. They're going onto the wall. Oh, they're going above the gate. Okay, I was going to say, I don't know where they're going on the wall. There's a big old fight going, and Venice is actually making ground here. Oh! That's pretty brutal. They just destroyed this part of the wall, though it didn't collapse, but it's just killed a whole bunch of spears and swords up here. That's actually endangering the gunners. They're going to need to get off the wall. I think the gunners are going up there to try and maybe scare off the range units. And that was their play. But they need to get off the wall now. We need to see that sword, that Sparta Satoi here go onto the wall. Excellent looking unit, by the way. It really is. That's been sent onto the wall. And they're now going to try and smash their way through. They've got maces. Yeah, they do. You couldn't really see that in a like small glimpse, but they do have maces. Why are they pulling them off the wall? I do not know what we're sending up there instead. Sergeants, maybe? Guys are wavering in the Venetians. This is still not looking good over here. Spesiwa. Oh, they're losing probably because of the shock. I mean, they're also probably losing because of these Rangers again shooting in there. And there you go, spears falling back. I think just trying to scare off the archers. That's what they were trying to do. Just keep them at arm's reach. And the polearm's still getting shot at. And also he's kind of running out of ideas. He's getting Venetian troops over here to support him, though. It's just tier 1 stuff. We've got also some Turks back here that potentially could get shifted to his flank. But yeah, certainly Austria, I think he's pretty much just got this left. He's running out of options. I'm still looking pretty healthy, pretty confident on my side. I've still got my elite, like Swiss shock to go in as well back here. I've still got my gen as well. I've got that cav unit as well, which is just patiently waiting over here. I think just waiting for an opportunity to go after anything. Not really anything to go for. Still plenty of Turkish cav out here, causing all sorts of problems and just, you know, being there. This fight for this bridge goes on.
The enemy refuses to admit defeat. Their unit has rallied.
There you go, another wave defeated, and we got more troops coming forward. These Janissaries here were about to go in, and they've been scared off. You can see why they were scared off as well by the remains of the Javis that are embedded now into the bridge. As soon as a unit like a shock or a polearm is coming across the bridge at the moment, they are being nuked by the ICBM javelins that are being thrown out by these spears. They really are incredible. I imagine they're getting extra accuracy as well from the chevrons that they've got on there, I'd imagine. Yeah, and they've still got plenty of them. There's still a lot of Javis back here that we can use. So we're looking pretty good right now. 6,300 defenders against 5,800 attackers. There's not a massive difference. Still have that numbers advantage to the defenders. Thought the shock honestly was going to try and pull through there. I think it maybe just gave a different attack order. Yeah, they need to deal with this somehow. They probably need some Javis over here or some range units to shoot into that shock. That's for sure. They are shooting onto the wall here. Again, just nuking these swords that are fighting on the wall. And there you go. They are now fighting that maceman unit on the wall. In all its glory, its golden armor. There's a badass. that's a unique unit for Trebizond, but I'm not 100% sure. There are a couple of units that are unique to each of the Byzantine factions, which is cool. I think that's very cool and very niche. Venice again is also kind of running out of stuff. Got Balisari. He's still got some of his shock here. And we've got Ecriol spears. I think they were just trying to destroy. Are they just trying to destroy the gate? That way they just get gunners just to shoot him at point blank range. We've still got, yeah, some more swords over here that's all to go in. Yeah, not a lot. They've got some like tier 2 heavy spears back there of Venice. Yeah, the Turks are kind of giving up on that front there. They think that Venice might be done. They're not seeing their hybrids there anymore. And now we're going to see Varangioi go in. Tier 1 Varangioi, so we'll see how they do. I mean, it's still Varangians at the end of the day. They look badass, to be fair. The tier 1 Varangians do. I mean, they all look great. In they go.
Enemy units have returned to the battle.
I should start cutting through those Venetians like a hot knife through butter. Let's see how they actually are doing. They are winning. Look at that. They just annihilate everything. Yeah, and the shock of Venice is losing. I wonder how long that's going to last, though. I imagine the Turks are not going to allow that to happen. Yeah, you can see they are bringing up their janitries to I think they weren't really abandoning this choke point. They're just repositioning, if anything. The cav nearly being out of ammo, I think, is the main reason for this. Yeah, all this shock is now sitting up over here. And they're going to continue to get side shots into this breach point. I think they might be better off just defending here, but that's equally not a great position, to be honest. This cav cyclocharging? No, it's getting well, yep, there it goes. It is cyclocharging. Into spears of all things. I doubt this is really working. Can't imagine that they're getting a lot of joy out of just cyclocharging spears, but it's doing damage. Those guys were losing for a minute. Same old on this side here. Austria again forced back. Again sending forward the polearms. I don't know if he's actually going to send them in. These guys still pretty healthy, 110. But as soon as these guys come forward, which they look like they are fully coming forward now, they can get javied to pieces and focused down by crossbows as well. Artillery coming in. That got a... Well, try to clip the unit. Didn't quite get him. I think that might have a friendly fire hit there. That artillery got really close. There go the polearms getting in. Oh my gosh, yeah, I can hear hits going off. I definitely think they're behind friendly lines. There go the polearms though in. And we'll see whether they can make the difference. They didn't actually get jabbied. I think the Zagway player was busy on the other flank, so he wasn't paying attention to this flank for a moment.
Is running from the enemy.
Yeah, I mean, he's holding here. You get these jabbies, those spears, see where they're out of melee and start jabbing the unit, if anything. If they break that, they might break Austria's will to actually try and break through there. Pikes are in this front line. Menevelatoi, sorry, are in there. That's not great that they're already getting focused down so badly. You're going to need to send something else up to try and support that soon. Again, shock losing it. Varangioi have been pulled out of the other choke point. And now losing in this choke point here against Venetian shock.
Our men run from the enemy units have run.
And this is not good either. I'd say the sergeant here, which is a tier 2 sergeant up against tier 3 shock. This is a nightmare waiting to happen. I'd have thought the shock could rip their way through these sergeants pretty quickly. We'll see if it's the case. He is losing. Again, it's those spear seer on the wall there. They're jabbing their way to victory right now. The gunners appear as well, so pounding the Balisari below, just trying to shoot them, do weakening damage to them. This is looking like a serious push here. General's in here. Oh, it's the Byzantine general. More spears, break, shock is still struggling in it, and it's found a gap in the line. That absolutely is this gap as well. They found a very legit gap, and they're going for the spear C, where we've got Fishmonger Guild as well back here. They need to get stuck into the fight. Still doing damage to these Janissaries. They're just jabbing the whilst in melee like they did earlier. It's probably the best thing that they can do. Yeah, the Janissaries are going to start carving through these boys with their axes. In go the Fishmongers as well. They are across the bridge. Janissaries are across. Who else to spearhead Turkish assault?
The men are running. Stand and fight,
and they're getting shot in the back as well by the units over on the other side of the river. The Fishmonger Guild, Spear C was starting to lose. But more spear starters. I don't know if it's worth continuing to fight here though as a defender. Shock continuing to charge. I've got the tier 3 Varangioi going in now. I think it's trying to get countercharged here by the Balkan nobles, but I don't know if that's necessarily going to work. These Varangioi are in gold. Oh my god, I don't think the Nicaean ones are. That's sick. They look awesome. Hold the line of mortar firing in there. Let's try to scare off the cavalry. You might have achieved it. Janissaries here going into the Varangians. A breakthrough has occurred over here as well. This is not good, and I think there's going to need to be a retreat general there for the Swiss. He's gone in, he's routing those shock along with the spear. See, we're there. Another wave of shock has been broken on that wall over there. Great to see. But I think it's just enough. Venice might have done just enough here to break through. Now there is Cav coming in, a hybrid Cav, the CPI Cav, getting ready to get jabbied here. We've got the, what are these, the Varangians? I think, yeah, they're coming out, they're going to go into the choke point. Oh, it's starting to look bad. Choke points are not being contained well enough right now. Spear C, where they're getting pushed back by the Janissaries here, who keep pushing forward. See more javelins being thrown in. I think Spear C were just trying to throw as many javelins as possible just to try and get these shock. There's so much shock here they can hit as well. I'll just start melee, like get into melee and maybe jabby them as well if you can. It's scummy, but you might need to do it if you want to give your team a chance. Shock for Austria has been set in here, so Austria's clearly reinvigorated to give it another go. They are containing that front for now. More shock in there, just trying to again stabilize that. The Turks over here yet? No, we've got some Venetians. Yeah, still mostly Austrians. They seem to have endless amounts of like cavalry, not cavalry, dismounted Ritter. Endless amounts. Here goes a gen. That's the Byzantine gen. He's going in. We got a mortar in here. He's going in as a crew. I think we're trying to make a new defensive line soon. This can't be really defended. I mean, we've got the Spear C. We're getting side shots there into the Janissaries. Yeah, it's going to be hard to contain. My Swiss are going in. I'm saying in the shock here. Probably shouldn't be sitting in here. It's not a good place to hold. Like I said, we're already getting side shot from across the river. They go into a sea of Janissaries, hoping that they can plug the gap. Turn back the tide of Turks.
men have given up and are running for their lives.
They kind of contain this. If they can beat this Janissary back, the Swiss and the Spear Seawer here, they've got a chance of containing this back to the bridge. Problem is now this assault is starting to get a little bit worse. And we've got crossbows in here, and how practical that is. Literally trying to hold the front line here. They could do something with a bit more bite. Also, the Janissaries are rear charging this. They really need to counter rear charge that with the cav unit. They could probably just rout that Janissary super quick. Again, the Austrians are being forced back here, which is great to see. One flank is going incredibly well right now, which is this flank over here. The other one starting to teeter. It's starting to teeter. 9 minutes left on the clock. There's 2,800 allies against 3,600 attackers. So all of a sudden, this balance of power, at least numbers-wise, has swung in favor of the attackers. That is not good. I mean, well, it's kind of usually standard. I'm kind of surprised that the defenders had more. I think it's like, yeah, just some of these, like, the Byzantines here have just been eviscerated by range units. They haven't got a lot left.
Their unit has rallied.
Same maybe with Flanders. But most places I look, like, yeah, Flanders got these pikes left, but yeah, most places I look, it's Swiss and Zague left.
The men are broken and are fleeing.
There you go, that's not great. I mean, it looks like my Swiss there broke. Got more Spear Seawer going in again, just desperate to try to hold these guys at the bridge. But the Turks can smell blood. More Janissaries being sent across, this time the range Janissaries instead of the shock ones. They're being sent across those hybrids. But generals are going to lead the way as well. He's going to get shot in a moment. And we've got Cav over here also trying to break across. Scipio Cav here being held up by my Swiss general. They got pretty far. This is the deepest the defenders have got so far. There come the pikes. That's going to be a great unit to scare off this cav unit. Maybe then get my general out of here. Gonna need that. And there you go. The breakthrough is complete. The next line of defense is sort of here, where this pike unit is, but that's going to get shot potentially. The Flemish pikes there are showing their sides, and then they're pushing forward, which I don't think they really need to do. If anything, I just kind of get ready to make a block, sort of maybe here. I'd give them the gate at this point. Get yourself off the gate. We've got Toxite defending here. We've got, yeah, these are, again, hybrid units actually, so yeah, more units that act as infantry. They fall back now at the face of the Turks. I think they're falling back to stand on top of the pikes there.
The men are running, cowards!
Yeah, I was going to say the pikes are now in a position where they can get nuked in the side here. We've got all of the Janissary archers, and even the general here, who's a horse archer in each side shooting as well. Just the range just is continuous. It really is. It's endless. Goes on and on and on. Kind of counter charging the Austrians on this bridge here. We've got my Swiss and also some of the spears here with the Seawer spears pushing across the bridge. Bridge holds on this flank. The left bridge holds. Or the right bridge, if you're looking from the perspective of the defender. There you go. That pike breaks. Like I said, the attacks don't have to attack it. They just kind of wait until those range units have taken out the pikes, which was the problem with having them having like pretty much, like I said, 8 range. They basically never ran out of range, so there's never a good chance to bring like things like pikes. Actually use them to you know, block off choke points and maybe make a difference in the game. And the cavalry is going to go into the back. The spears potentially. Nope. Spears are going to turn around. My shock is going to struggle on the bridge there. The spears are going to get countercharged here by the Sultan of the Turks. There he is in his red garb. I got another cav unit here. He's actually fighting against all my cav. I'm trying to extract my my crossbows. And it's getting a little bit chaotic now. A little bit chaotic.
The men are running, cowards.
The allies have abandoned us. Oh, I don't know who that is that's abandoned us. Apparently the towers abandoned us, which might make sense, I guess. My heavy shock is starting to wave at 82. That's huge. That's not good at all. Probably because they're about to get encircled here. Been fighting Austrians for so long. Actually, Venetians now on the front line. And there you go, a Turkish rear charge is probably what's going to do them over here. I'd like to think I've pretty much defeated Austria. I mean, there's like a little bit of them left. I definitely think. I mean, I was absolutely supported by the Zagreb Kingdom in doing it. But oh, did we do it? The Sultan, well, sorry, not the Sultan. The Ottoman cavalry getting recharged by the Sultan of Trebizond. No, the Emperor of Trebizond there, fighting on. Still being a pain. As his archers over here, they keep fighting survival against the Turkish cav as well. And they're just going to keep cycling in and out, hitting these archers. I don't blame them. Got a tier 1 Venetian cav there that's going to get used. Here comes the commander again of the Ottomans. And yeah, this is not looking good. I mean, it was, like I said, not looking good. 1,100 against 2,600. So all of a sudden, just starts to run out of men, run out of sort of like as troops get in. Also, as the side shots, the missile damage going on was just relentless. These gunners didn't certainly get their money's worth. They still got so much ammo left. These guys certainly got their money worth. They've been fighting on this wall for ages. And their golden armor, which should surely be covered in red blood by now. There goes the Byzantine general. He's going to go in and try and support his archers. If he dies, though, in there, that archer line's going to break. I mean, it's going to break anyway, but it's going to break. But the general here for the Zagreb Kingdom is coming forward.
Our advantage has been lost.
Apparently we had an advantage. Don't know if we did. Flemish pikes are getting shot in the side again by Janissaries. The bane of this game.
Enemy units have returned
Janissaries
to the
there.
battle.
They're jabbing away. Oh, getting jabbed away, sorry. My general's going to go in here. Yeah, that's going to go through his own allied pikes. So it's not going to be necessarily a great charge. But a charge nonetheless. And there goes the Sultan's bodyguard. I think that was the plan, was just to try and bait him in, just try and get some kills. I mean, I'm pretty much finished. I have just crossbows left. And even, I was going to say, my allies' general's starting to waver. I think he's out of troops anyway. Going to charge in there. Do some damage to the Janissaries before he breaks. My cav general facing off against a bunch of spears. He might break. There goes the Zagreb Kingdom. As goes my general.
Thrown down their weapons and are fleeing.
Now it's just down to the Flemish. I think they are left on the border on their own here. Power Flanders is holding on against a horde of Turks.
The enemy has killed our general. The men lose heart.
There goes my gen. Sadly dead, which is going to just condemn my army, or what's left of it, these light crossbows here. Yeah, we'll just fast forward through these last few moments here as we wait for, well, for Flanders to basically capitulate. It takes ages, I guess, because the pikes are blocking one of the choke points. I mean, you could just charge in and just end this. But yeah, it was a pretty fun siege. Pretty close. I mean, I think the attacks still have over 2,000 troops. I feel like the Turks bringing all that range is probably what was the undoing. They still have gunners here with full ammo. It's just crazy.
Our ally has been vanquished by the enemy.
So yeah, I don't know how many range units these guys brought. It seemed like a lot. And also, yeah, like all their generals and stuff like they've been using their ammo as well. So
they are shaken.
yeah, it's just kind of annoying. It's one of
fallen.
those to maybe just clarify. I mean, Turkish cavalry, yeah, it does have bows, but if it didn't like arc so well, it literally was arcing and like shooting from like quite a range into a choke point, making a difference. Like you're pretty much bringing a mobile archer. You're probably getting less ammo, yes, but you're also getting a cav unit, a very good cav unit as well. Count Flanders is wavering. There he goes, and that should be GG. And a valiant defeat indeed for the Swiss, who I was playing as. Yeah, not a lot of my army got out of there alive, that's for sure. My shock did disappointingly well, actually. I think it's just because the point they were committed, it was all falling apart. 96 kills for them, the best there. My spears did okay, 87 kills. For a light spear, not bad. Crossbows, 95 kills. My cav, 278 kills. And my mortar getting 265 kills were certainly the best of the bunch, that's for sure. Then we have Grand Admiral playing as Trebizond, getting 103 kills with one of his Varangians. 108 kills with one of his hybrid archers. The other one got 124 kills. Brought that Mace infantry, got 236 kills. His gunners actually got 115 kills, even though they barely used any ammo. So yeah, imagine if they'd stayed alive longer. And then the fire throw's got 149 kills. Then we have Swifting playing as Flanders, brought up a bit of a hodgepodge of an army. Just a lot of mass, to be honest. Not necessarily the greatest thing to bring. Tier 3s will do a lot better because you'll get more kills. It kind of shows, really. Like, he hasn't really got anything that's got triple figures. Bar this Brotherhood of St. George's crossbow, which got 130 kills. And we have Ike playing as the Javi spam of Zagwe. 114 kills with the C were there. 103, 133, 190, 241 kills. 159, 186, 188, some of the highlights there. Then you have Geo playing as the Sultan of Rum. Got like 226 kills with Balkan nobles there. His Janissaries getting 291 kills. Is like the archers, and the shock got 173 kills, 204, and his general 237 kills. Then we have Murdoch playing as the Duchy of Austria, spamming out the shock. Some did pretty well, 291 kills, 210, 191. And then he's got his archers there, 185 kills, 125, 143 kills is also not too shabby. Then we have K1 playing as Venice, again bringing some heavily armored shock, 285 kills, 200, 309 kills, 213. All of them did exceptionally well. His crossbows, 166 kills, 199, 221 kills, and then one of his swords here getting 111 kills. Then we have Sol Invictus. I think it's a tiny Ottoman army, 1,400 troops, very elite troops. His general getting 138 kills. His Janissaries 230, 159, 308 kills with the Janissary shock there, and 218 with another one. His Scipii Cav 254 kills. The Bombard 132 kills. And then, Janissaries 159, 148, and then 192 kills of the other Scipii. But there you go, guys. That's today's 1212 AD Siege. If you did enjoy and want to see more, do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're around here, and a comment to show support. And I'll see you, folks, in the next medieval clash. Bye-bye for now.